Now they're classified as sexually dimorphic, only meaning that the males and the females look different from one another, even though they are the same species. Now if you look up to the right hill, the darker ones running, those are the males. That's the male black buck antelope. And those beautiful birds that you're looking at are the peafowl, which is the national birds of India. Now males are called peacocks, while females are called peahens, and little babies, of course, are called pea-chicks. And these small bills that we're about to pass right here represent a very interesting WCS conservation story.
Hi. Farmers in Indonesia live closely with wild animals, like elephants, which we will see shortly. WCS field staff worked with local leaders and farmers in Indonesia to come up with the Crop Protection Unit. This unit created many different ways for farming to continue in close proximity of wild animals. One strategy was to soak ropes in chili powder and place them around the crops. Elephants do not like chili and leave the farms alone, allowing the farmer and the animals to share the habitat peacefully.
Yes, now we all know that a species that's extinct no longer exists. Now the next animal was on the verge of extinction. In fact, the Mongolian wild horse, or the Przewalski horse, was extinct in nature, and they can only be found in zoos. But recently, there have been some reintroductions of the Mongolian wild horses.
That's what's happening today with Przewalski's horse.
And here they go, folks, very close to the train. These are the beautiful Mongolian wild horses. Now, as you're looking at them, I'm pretty sure you notice the difference between these horses and our domestic ones. One, they have shorter legs and a stockier build. They also have an erect mane. They're missing the forelock. That's a piece of mane that drapes over the forehead of our domestic horse. Now, males can weigh over 2,000 pounds, as much as a small car. They stand 6 feet tall and are 10 feet long. And with their large-sized, impressive horns, a male gallop can fight off just about anything, and that includes a tiger. But what threatens these huge animals is the loss of their Asian habitats and diseases that they do catch from other domestic cattle. Now, if you can, try to get a good look at those horns. Now, if those horns are curving in, those are our females. If they're slightly pointing up, those are our males. Now, only 4 zoos in America carry this species, and of course, we're one of them. And we're also trying to increase our herd as we get 2 females and a male from San Diego. They all have the species that we do show here at the Bronx Zoo, the Malayan and the Siberian, also known as the Amur. The Siberian are the larger of the 2, and that's what you're looking at right now. And that's Anakin, our Siberian tiger. You gotta stay seated back there, folks. But believe me, out of all the exhibits, believe me, you do not want to fall in this one.
Tenemos el
tigre. Now, tigers hunt a variety of animals, but they prefer wild pigs and medium-sized deer. Now, typically, a tiger will gorge itself on a fresh kill, eating as much as 40 pounds of meat at one time. Now, just think. That's the equivalent of you and I eating 160 hamburgers in one sitting. Now, if the male of that size, a tiger will not eat again for about several days. And if you do want to get a close look at our tigers, you can visit our Tiger Mountain right here at the Bronx Zoo. Again, that was Anakin, folks, our 8-year-old male Siberian, also known as the Amur tiger. And as you can see, he's a big one. Now, the trains about to come down this small hill will soon be in the back of the gap. Keep their spots for their entire lifetimes, unlike other deer. Now, if you look down to the bottom right, laying right by the fence, to the far right corner, you're going to see another one of our black buck antelope laying there with those dual horns and that darker coat. That's a male. Now, the next animal blends in with the muddy area and calls home. If you see what looks like a pig with a tusk that erupt through the top of his snout and curves backwards towards his eyes, you find a pig called a Barbarossa. And the fact that the tusk resemble antlers earned this pig its name. Barbarossa means pig deer in the Malay language. Now, males will use those tusks to fight with other males to display dominance in order to attract other females. Now, they're gray in color, so they blend in very well with the exhibit as we're passing by this bamboo thicket. And the first time we have the male, look through, and there he is standing on top of the rock. I'm glad you got to see it because a lot of times they like to stay right under the bush. Now, folks, I want you to please remain seated because we're about to see the world's largest land mammal. And, of course, we're talking about our Asian elephant. And today, folks, we have our Patty. And she's going to be to the far right, so we're going to get a great view as we come up. Now, that large tree that you see by the Chiprapula is an elephant-sized back scratcher. Now, African and Asian elephants are iconic animals worldwide, but they are struggling in the wild. Now, once we get closer to Patty, you're going to notice something about it, which is her size. Asian elephants can weigh more than 10,000 pounds, so they eat a lot of vegetation. Now, as we come closer, start looking to the right, there she is. Now, Patty eats about 200 pounds of hay each day. She drinks about 60 gallons of water. That is per day. Now, once we get a little closer, try to get a good look at that trunk, because only Asian elephants have this adaptation. She has a finger-like feature on the end of her trunk where she can gently pick up an egg. Or with that same trunk, folks, she can tear down all the surrounding tree branches out here with enormous force. That trunk holds more than 40,000 muscles. It's an incredible tool. Now, she's almost 50 years old, folks. She's almost 50 years old. Now, here at the Bronx Zoo, we do take very good care of our elephants. They not only get baths, but they get pedicures as well, and they deserve it. That's right, ladies, they get pedicures. Very carefully. And as we leave our elephant zone, we're now looking out for another large mammal. This one tends to weigh around 3,500 pounds. Has a horn in its nose and looks to be armor-plated. But nothing can be further from the truth when you're talking about a rhinoceros skin. And we're now on the lookout for Penny, our Indian, right now at the Bronx Zoo. And our newest calf was born in the summer of 2013. And we're currently here at the Bronx Zoo, caring for 5 endangered species as I speak. And there goes Penny, all 3,500 pounds of her. Now, this much larger mud wallow that we're facing right now is the original mud wallow of Wild Asia, made back in 1977 and made larger bar rhinos all by themselves. How do they do it? They just continually stomp around it, making it bigger and bigger to their liking. And again, they've been doing this since 1977, when Wild Asia first opened 42 years ago. And as we leave Penny behind, we go into our next 2 very large meadows. We're now on the lookout for 4 different deer species and 1 species of antelope. Now, the first, the color of the male's coat. Nilgai means blue bull in Hindi. And that's because the males have a bluish-gray tint to their coats, while the females have a yellowish-brown. Large animals laying down right there, folks, are the Nilgai antelope. All females. Those are all females. Clocked at 30 miles per hour, the largest antelope species in Asia. Now, as we come up a little further, look back to the left, and again, you're going to see our animals way back there in the corner. They will come down soon. Now, in this area, want to look out for the cute little Chinese tufted deer I spoke to you about. A small, elusive little deer, 40 pounds maximum weight. And just like our white-tailed deer here in New York, you might be able to see it if you follow this fence line straight back. And right behind that rock is laying there with little white-tipped deers. And again, just like our white-tailed deer here in New York, they have a white tail and a rump. And when they flash that tail, it's the signal danger to the other deer. And it also allows the small fawns to follow their mothers in flight again once they sense danger. Now, these deer are just to protect the Bronx River corridor and its greenway. So whether it's the Bronx River here in New York or the Irrawaddy River in Asia, rivers and streams are vital resources for wildlife everywhere. Now, this next rocky terrain is the perfect environment for our next 2 species of animals, and both are well adapted.